Good evening, race fans. How are we all doing? I'm part here, Black Flag Racing TV, and this is a very special one-off event. This is the late night racing Christmas special Formula 2 tournament. It is going to be 8 races, 5 laps each. No strategy, nothing, just balls out, foot to the floor racing. First race will be based on a one hot lap qualifying, and then it will just be reverse grid all the way through. They're even going to use the in-game point system to sort it all out. It's going to be awesome, absolutely awesome. I hope the mic's a bit better now. It was a bit quiet before, but it is better now. I think it's going to be wicked. Really looking forward to this. It's just a bit of fun getting ready for the new season. So what is going on? What are the 8 races? There we go. We've got Bahrain, base at secure, obviously, 15 turns, 5.4 kilometres. Australia, 5.2 kilometres, 14 turns from Melbourne. Then it's on to the Netherlands for the circuit Zandvoort. This is a really cool track. Takes some getting used to though. 4.2 kilometres, 2.6 miles, 14 turns. The Dutch track. Then on to the Festival of Speed. That is Monza in Italy. Just 11 turns, 5.7 kilometres. Flat out, balls to the wall. That track will be without question. Short break in between. Then we move on to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. 16 turns, 4.675 kilometres. Then we go to Azerbaijan for the Baku City Circuit. 20 turns, 6 kilometres. Very, very long straight. There's going to be lots of overtaking there, I would expect. Then we're on to China, the Shanghai International Circuit. Very, very tricky track. 16 turns, 5.4 kilometres of racetrack. And then last, but by no means least, it will be Abu Dhabi, Yas Island. The Yas Marina Circuit, 5.2 kilometres, 16 turns, and then that's it. We will be done, and we will find out who is the champion of Christmas. Basically the F2 LNR champion. So without further ado, let's get into the lobby. Don't know how many we've got tonight. I suspect we've got a decent bunch, and it's equal performance and all of that. It's nothing to do with tactics and all that kind of palaver. It is literally get a good qualifying time in and then go racing. But it is one shot, as I said, one shot for the first race, and then every race after that will be a reverse grid type scenario. Points will be sorted out by the system. We don't have to worry about any of that. So we will be crowning a champion at the end of these 8 short races. I'm really, really looking forward to it, actually. I'm a little bit concerned. What's going on? There we go. I don't have any audio coming in from the thingy at the moment, but I'm assuming that's a minor issue. Yeah, so LNR Racing, they're obviously breaking for Christmas now. That's why we've got nothing occurring between now and then. It is literally just going to be this Christmas tournament. We'll be back in the new year to commence the racing. Black Flag TV is not over for Christmas yet. Of course not. We had the Group 4 yesterday. We have the Group 3 tomorrow. And then we'll see. We will see. There might be a little few bits and pieces. I've just seen your message, Paul. How you doing, buddy? Good of you to join us. You should have come and joined us for this. I think it would have been a bit of fun. I don't think your pace in F1 would have been, or F2 would have been quite the what's the Achilles heel that you think it might be. And let's face it, you are our resident Stig. Anyone that doesn't know, PM10 Racing is whenever you see a track guide video on GT7, he's driving the car. Some say that he was born with rubber for legs, and that when he brakes, he creates smoke. All we know is that we call him PM10. And thank you, Top Gear, for allowing me to steal that line. Yeah, so basically he does all the track guides and he does all the really fast driving because I can't. So it says 9 o'clock start. We're just waiting for a few more to get into the room. So why don't I regale you with the Black Flag Christmas song? I've been playing it for everyone to hear. This should be Christmas number 1. That was nice, wasn't it? Now, where's my fucking socks? Yeah, so that's our entry for the Christmas number 1. Short and sweet, and that is it. I think you should, mate. I think there might actually be. I don't know if they've got spaces for next season lined up. I know there's a league on Friday that does, if you're interested in the F1. But yeah, I think you're probably quicker than you think you are, mate. You are pretty racy when it comes to putting some lap times in. I don't know if any of you that are in the Discord have noticed we've got our end of season awards, and at the moment, yeah, fuck off. Listen, Paul, you have no idea. I'd have to set a fucking a target of like 1,500 subscriptions before I'd even dream of doing something ridiculous like that and scaring people off. So not gonna happen. To be fair, I did contemplate it very briefly for about 35 seconds, and then decided against it. Yes, just to we've got our end of season awards up on our Discord, and at the moment, PM10 Racing is an absolute shoo-in for the fuck up of the year. And to be fair, we had 2 entries out of the 3 that are on there. Purely because he made 2 big fuck ups this year. One can be found on our intro video, which is him spinning at Laguna Seca at the corkscrew, trying to chuck one up the inside and nick. I think he was trying to nick 2nd place, or was he trying to nick 1st? I think he was trying to nick 1st, and ended up finishing 4th, I think. And there was the one that's winning at the moment was him chasing down the leader, going onto soft compound tyres and coming out with intermediate tyres on and finishing somewhere near the back. Yeah, that's currently the shoo-in for the fuck up of the year award. So 28 seconds to go, as the famous So Solid crew didn't sing. And then we're going to do one-shot qualifying, literally 1 lap round. Quickest man goes out on pole, simple as that. Man or woman, of course, not woman. And we'll have a quick look through. Yeah, to be fair, you had a really bad start there, didn't you? Because you had to come together, I think, with was it Aussie or someone you were coming together with, coming out turn 2. So it's 1-shot qualifying, so it gets pretty quick and all that. And for some reason, I don't have game volume. What a pain in the arse that is. Let's do it through the microphone then, as I don't have it in the regular fashion. It happens sometimes. I don't know why it drops off. No, it was meme worthy only. But to be fair, you did give it a go. But I don't know at which point you realised that it wasn't going to work. That very, very good overtake, but there we go. So, one-shot qualifier is very difficult to follow, so we won't even bother trying. It will basically just give us the runners and riders at the end. Ah, yes. Yes, I remember. Yeah, you did. It was it wasn't a massive come together either. I think you broke a little bit early and you caught him. To be fair, Franny hasn't come back since then, so you really must have pissed him off on that race. I know, no, he did come back. He came back for that ridiculous 1 hour race we did around the Barcelona motocross course that was so rubbish that one of the drivers just parked up and went for a cigarette for 30 minutes. Yeah, you did go shooting past him very, very quickly. To be fair, it's brave to chuck one up the inside there. Really brave. You get points for bravery. So out there today we've got Friendly Dutch, we've got Connor, we've got Riley, Blumchum, Battle, and some others. So there we go. Blumchum comes in fourth. We'll have a look at the Formula 1. Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah, it was. You were like 5 laps ahead. I think everyone had just given up the ghost. So 2 points already for Friendly Dutch coming in pole. Connor in the Carling second. A. Riley in the Campos is third. Blumchum in fourth. Battle in fifth. Dunners sixth. Shmee in seventh. Fingers in eighth place for Prima. Bimmerguy in ninth. Grimy in 10th. Mr. J 11th. 12th is Drew Cam. 13th is Error. And that's your lineup for the first race. Everything beyond now will certainly be just reverse grid. So get cracking. 13 runners. Should be easy to keep track of them. And every single one of them will get character assassinated at some stage over the next 8 races. Some more than most. Probably Fingers mostly. Because I know him personally and I can get away with it. Although, to be fair, he is probably the only one out of you guys that knows where I live. So, yeah, maybe I need to rethink that. So, 30 seconds away from the start of the first race, and our first race will be in Bahrain. I've forgotten already. Yeah, Bahrain. First race is in Bahrain. So, what's everyone doing for Christmas? Anything exciting? You got anything exciting? To be fair, the F1 cars were after the race without spinning, mate, to be fair. So, Friendly Dutch leads them away. There is no formation lap. We just get straight into it. And here we go. Connor is away. And already under pressure from Friendly Dutch. Blumchum up into the lead. Sorry, I've got the wrong screen on my thingy. I can only see half the screen. That's better, right? So it is Connor in the lead from Blumchum as Friendly Dutch going all the way through. And I don't know who that was going sideways, but you can't park that there. Bimmer guy's all right. Mr. J, he has decided that he doesn't like that car and has gone right to the back. Friendly Dutch, there's him coming back on the track finally. He has discovered that the racetrack is the black bit and not the brown bit. Penalties, all round penalty for Fingers already. He's called Fingers because he only has 3 on each hand and he uses them to convince men to give him money. Connor leads the way. He is half a second up from Blumchum, who has Shmee all over the back of him in the Junior Red Bull car. I'm not even going to try and remember the team names for F2 just by the colours. It's redonkulous. There's Grimer. He's 1.2 seconds back in 4th place, trying to open up a gap from Dunners. Dunners running in 5th, just ahead of A. Riley. 4/10 is the gap there. Drew Cam in 7th place. Fingers in 8th with a penalty to serve. Battle behind him. I can see that not being a battle for very much longer. Fingers trying to hold him off, but we know Battle's very, very quick. Fastest lap from Connor in the Carling, 1:43.7. Error in 10th place. and he's coming into the pit lane and speeding in the pit lane because he's coming in to repair some damage. So Friendly Dutch goes ahead of him, and Bimmer will eventually catch up. He suddenly realised that everyone else is racing and decided that it's probably time to turn up and try and get involved at some stage. And there he goes. He has finally started lap 2. It's only 5 laps here, mate. I'll get a hurry on if I were you. So there is Connor out in the lead, half a second clear of Blumchum. The Tun's starting to pull away from Schmee. He's in 3rd place and just ahead of Grimy, who has got Dunners crawling all over the back of him. Can Dunners find a way through in the Formula 2 car? And they are very tricky to drive, these. And there we go, as if to prove how tricky they are to drive, Grimy turns his around and spinny. Fingers up to 7th place, Grimy down to 6th. Let's have a quick look at the penalties. Or position changes first. So Blumchum up into the lead of this race. 3 positions made up for him. And now he's ahead. He's already started to pull out a gap from Connor. Connor started second, is second. No improvement, but no loss. You can't complain about that. With McShmee in 3rd, up 4 places. Started in 7th on the grid and is already up into 3rd place. Dunners up 2 places into 4th. At the expense of A. Riley, who's lost 2 places. So everybody in the top 4 has got better or stayed the same. Fastest lap there from Blumchum. That's a 1:40.5. We're already on lap 3. It's a 5-lap sprint race here, and it's all to race for still. Fingers up 1 place in 7th place. Drew Cam is up 4 places. Battles lost 4. Friendly Dutch lost 9 places. Someone wasn't paying attention today. Mr. J in 11th place. That's where he started. That's where he is. You can't get much better or worse than that. What did he decided he wasn't going to carry on in the straight line and nearly went off the track there. Bimmer no, that's not the correct direction. There's the racetrack. Well done, my friend. Well done. Down 3 places in 12th place. Error is just 4 seconds behind, but Bimmer keeps forgetting which bit is the racetrack. That might change. Out in front, Blumchum doesn't look like he's being caught. The gap is 1.2 seconds from Connor, who is 1 second up from McShmee. Big gain for McShmee. 4 places gained by him. Quick look at the penalties just to see how that's going to affect the race. At the moment, Fingers is going to lose out to Battle, and Battle won't even have to overtake him because he's got a 2-second penalty. Bimmer with a 2-second penalty as well. Error with a 3-second penalty. So Bimmer just at the moment just going to stay ahead, but the gap is only 3.5 seconds. Bimmer 4.6 to Mr. J, as Mr. J had a problem because that gap is coming down. But here we go. We start lap 4. There is your race leader. We look in behind. That's the gap. It's a second. So he's going to need to make a cock up or this is his race. Friendly Dutch, he is down in 9th place. He suddenly found the loud pedal. 1:40 fastest lap for him. 1:40.4 I think that was. It'd be nice if it stayed on the screen for me. That kind of information is quite useful to a commentator. I suppose I could bring it up, couldn't I, if I really wanted to. Dunner's running in 3rd place. He is not got his all alone way though. McShmee knows there's only a couple of laps to go and he's trying to make a move. He is tight to the back of that Carlin and looking for just any error. And we've seen how easy it is to make mistakes here. And these mistakes are going to cost you today. There's only 5 laps. There is no recovery time. There is none of this safety car bullshit. There is none of this strategy. It is just put the foot on the loud pedal and up the road you go. Half a second is the gap. Not quite getting enough forward momentum from that slipstream. But he's still got a lap and a half to do it. Can he make it work? And I do want to get that on the screen so I can keep an eye on what is occurring. We've had no retirement so far. Commentator's curse, of course. Who will be the first retirement? Will it be Fingers, who's already lost that place to Battle and needs to stay where he is ahead of Friendly Dutch, or he's going to be in trouble? Friendly Dutch looking pretty darn racy at the moment, though. He's got the fastest lap. If he closes up that half a second, Fingers is going to lose another place. Blumchum, though, looking very comfortable in the lead. 1.1 seconds is the gap. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, mate. To be fair, I've been off work for a week already, so I'm not really complaining too much, Paul, having some more time off. It's always good, mate. It's always good. Time with the family and lots of extra time to do this shizzle. But we're on lap 5. Connor 1.2 seconds back. Can't close that gap. Looks like the top 3 is going to stay this top 3. Blumchum from Connors. From Dunners from Schmee. A. Riley comes home in 5th place. Grimmy in... Is it Grimmy or Grimy? In 6th. Battle in 7th place. He got ahead of Fingers. 3.2 seconds behind Grimy. 1.6 ahead of Fingers. He's got a 2-second penalty. And needs to maintain that 2.8 second to Friendly Dutch for it not to affect his race. Well, now it is starting to tumble down. Is Friendly Dutch going to close that gap? Drew Cam 10.6 seconds back. Then Mr. J 9.8 behind him. And there's already a battle going on there. And that is a big spin. Round and round and round goes Mr. J. Like a roundabout, for want of a better expression. So easy to spin these cars. He's at the back. Bimmerguy through, error through, and you could argue that Mr. J was the one that had the error. Gap down to 0.7 of a second as Blumchum desperately tries to bring that car home before Connor can catch up to him. He's really getting close, but this is the final race to the line, and it is Blumchum that wins race number 1 from Connor. Then Dunners. McShmee comes home in 4th. Grimy in 5th place. Battle in 6th. Overtakes A. Riley right at the death. Friendly Dutch in 8th. Fingers down to 9th. Friendly Dutch did close that gap in the end. Only just though. Drew Cam will come home in 10th place. Just did that already. Drew Cam will come home in 10th. Bimmerguy will come home in 11th place. Here he comes across the line. Did salvage some dignity. After spending quite some time off the racetrack. Error is 3 seconds back. 3-second penalty. Will finish in 12th place. Mr. J will finish last, but there is your winner. Race number 1. The points and the prize and the kudos all goes to your friend and mine, Mr. Blumchum. Driver of the day, Grimy. It's only 5 laps. Not really much of a time to really determine, but there he goes, flouncing to the number 1 spot, as you do when you've done something really manly like drive fast. And I'm not suggesting that girls can't drive fast, of course they can. So before I get shut down by the Me Too Brigade, I am an equal opportunities insulter. There you go, race number 1 is done. That quickly. That's how quick and frenetic it's going to be. We've got 3 more like this before we have a very short break, and then we've got another 4 of these kind of races. It's going to be full on every single race. In fact, the gaps between will probably be bigger. So nice big chunky 25 points for Blumchum, 18 points for Connor. Dunners with 15, McShmee with 12, Grimy with 10 points, all the way down to Drew Cam with 1. Bimmerguy, Error and Mr. J get nil pois, nothing, zilch, zada. There we go. So the standings as they stand at the moment. Blumchum in the lead, 25 points. Connor in second, 18 points for him. Dunners with 15. McShmee from Prima Racing on 12 points. Grimy on 10. We've then got Battle with 8 points. Friendly Dutch with 7. 6 points for A. Riley. 2 points for Fingers. And 1 point for Drew Cam. Nothing for Bimmerguy, Error and Mr. J. That is still to come. Can they get some points on the board in race number 2? So, leading the way. Already, that's 25 points on the board. Already with a 6-point gap. Now, the key for Blumchum is to try and open that gap. Needs to make sure that the next race is all about staying ahead of Connor. Doesn't matter where you finish, stay ahead of Connor, stay ahead of Dunners. They're the 2 that you want to make sure you're beating. So we're all really going to see what battles are happening, and everyone ready to go for race number 2. And race number 2, of course, is at Albert Park in Australia. Love this racetrack. is one of my favourite F1 tracks. And a little bit gutted it's no longer the first on the calendar. I remember what it used to be, but a bit gutted it's no longer. So straight into the 5-lap feature race. Reversey grid. So quite easy to work out which way around it's going to be, because it's reverse grid from the last race, and there's the points right there. So we know that Blumchum has got some significant work to do, as has Connor, as has Dunners. If they want to stay up there on the leaderboard, they've got to work very, very hard over the next 5 laps here at Albert Park and try, excuse me, losing my voice there, and try and get themselves ahead. Why is everyone not checking in? We're not supposed to have these bigger gaps in between the races, boy. And I probably should put myself on Do Not Disturb, shouldn't I? That's the wrong button. That's the one. Busy. So I don't keep getting all my messages up on the screen. 2 are checked in. How many more are going to press the button? Come on, hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. If you don't hurry up, I'm going to sing the Christmas... No, I'm not really going to sing the Christmas song. It's never going to happen. So only a couple of days left till Christmas. What is it? Sunday, Christmas Day, isn't it? It's 20th today. So if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you've still got 4 days left, guys, before you have to go out and do it, as guys normally do. And whatever the petrol station has, so it's jumper cables all round, I believe. Although petrol stations nowadays are bloody supermarkets, aren't they? Not really petrol stations anymore. So you can get some natural yoghurt and an avocado. There is there's a couple of bits and pieces on Black Flag over the Christmas, not a huge amount, because apparently my family don't like it if I don't talk to them over the Christmas period. So we'll have to get involved in conversating them at some stage, and yeah, we'll see how we get on then. There is a plan for Fingers to come to my house sometime between Christmas and New Year, so we can get drunk. He can have a play with my steering wheel, and I can abuse him about his lack of fingers. To be fair, Paul, you'll be disgusted to hear this, but my house has been decorated since the 1st of December, and pretty much everything that needs to be wrapped has been, bar some little bits. There's a big pile of shit under the tree. There's loads of stuff in cupboards and stuff. Dead flowers and a newspaper each. Well, you could wrap the dead flowers in a newspaper and kind of make it a double bubble prize, couldn't you? Or wrap the newspaper in more newspaper. No, we were we got done very, very early this time because we knew that we'd have to put the heating on and we'd run out of money, so we thought we'd do Christmas shopping first before we put the heating on. It's raining here in Australia, which doesn't happen very often, and this is going to put a different complexion on it because there's going to be some sliding all over the racetrack. It's going to be absolute carnage. Love it. I love it when this happens. I know I'm like the anti-Grinch. I'm the opposite to. So here we go. We are away. Mr. J leads them out. Error in second. Bimmerguy in third. Who's going to crash? And there's spins already. Who's that facing the wrong way? That looks like Drew Cam. Drew Cam just... Okay, there we go. That's it. It's the loud pedal. Don't push it too hard. He's away. He's already 7 seconds back, though. Didn't get away too well. Bimmerguy got a great start. Already nearly a second up. Friendly Dutch in second. Error in third place. They go into that corner. Looks like most got through safely. Didn't look like too much damage coming through there. This is a very, very different racetrack in the wet. When it's dry, it's fast. It's frenetic. It's full on. When it's wet, it's treacherous. Very, very dangerous. Bimmerguy leading him out, Fingers up to 5th place, and there's an overtake move going on there, and either side, McShmee and Fingers getting it on, but there's a crack. They're both into the wall. Do they survive? but I think there's some damage there. Fingers and McShmee having a little kissy up against the wall, and that is going to leave some carbon fibre pieces all over this racetrack. But there's your leader. Very different to race number 1. He's out in front. 1.5 seconds he's already got over Friendly Dutch, and 2 positions gained by him from the start. 4 positions gained by Friendly Dutch. Much better start from him as well this time. And Grimy, he was driver of the day in race number 1. He is currently up 6 positions, up into 3rd place. A Riley up into 4th. He's running around that kind of top 5, top 6. And if you can do that in every race, you know what? You're going to be a shoo-in towards the end, you know, because of the way these reverse grids work. Of course, Bimmer Guy's got the fastest lap. That makes sense because it is the first lap. McShmee in 5th, Connor in 6th. Blumchum, the winner of race number 1, he's down in 7th place. He's made up 6 places. Look at that. The top 7 have all gained positions. The bottom 6 have all lost. Mr. J, he's lost 7 places. Error's lost 7 places. Dunners now is up 1. He had lost a place, but he's now up 1 place. Battle up 3, down 3 positions. And that might change. He's under a bit of pressure. No, he does make the move up. So he's up 1. He's now down 2 places. Error down 9 places. Plummeting down as he goes off to cut the grass. You should never cut the grass when it's raining. It's not the best time to do it. Plummeting down that order. 9 places lost for him. Drew Cam lost 8 places. He was sitting still on the grid when everybody else was in turn 1. And Fingers, well, what can I say? He's last. He's so last that he's practically still at Bahrain. And that is... Who's that facing the wrong way? That is Error. You can't park that there, mate. And that's a wall. If anyone wants a piece of front wing for their car, Error's just left one there by the side of the racetrack for you. Feel free to collect it on your way out. 11 places lost for him. That's not a great start. Fingers is saved by the fact that Error spun his car around, but is doing incredibly poorly, and it's such a shame. Sorry, Daryl. Sorry, man. Bimmer Guy was the fastest man on the track for all of about a second, and then Grimy and Friendly Dutch both put in fastest laps, but Grimy now the man with the impetus. Bimmer Guy is only 7 tenths up from Friendly Dutch, who's made up 4 places. Grimy made up 6 places, is running in 3rd. Do you know what? He's in a really good position here to take the big W. A Riley running in 4th place, 3 seconds back. It's going to be a bit of a battle to try and close that up. Connor up 7 places. That's a big gain from him. He's ahead of the winner of round 1 at Blumchum. He's not ahead of McShmee though. McShmee takes that place back. He says, thank you very much. You are not sitting in the top 5 today, my friend. And McShmee is keeping him at bay, but it's not an easy task as Connor tries to find some grip on this very, very wet track. It is wetter than a prostitute's chuff on a Wednesday afternoon in Scunthorpe. It is so slippery out there, and such a big slipstream. Does he make this very brave move? He does, but he does it by taking the piss with the track limits. That was absolute abuse of the track there. Just decided to make a whole new racetrack for himself when he dived up there very late on the brakes. But is still behind McShmee in 6th place. Blumchum, winner of race number 1, is getting involved in that battle. He's looking to chuck one up the inside. The grip's just not there. You've got to be so careful. You can end up with both you in a wall and way down the order when that happens. Bimmer Guy's still leading this race. He's holding Friendly Dutch off. Has opened the gap up a little bit. It was 7 tenths. It's now out to 8 tenths of a second. Dunner's running in 8th place. We're on lap 4 already as McShmee puts in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:43.5 to stay ahead of Connor, who can't stay ahead of Blumchum, at least not for very long. These two duking it out side by side, and it's Blumchum that wins out up into 6th place. Connor dropping down, and that's exactly what Blumchum needs. He's already in the lead of this championship. staying ahead of Connor, wherever he finished on the racetrack, that is always going to be his aim, to stay ahead of his championship contenders. And he's doing that job right now. And it looks like he's going to get driver of the day as well, because he's up to 7 places, up to 6th place. So we're on lap 4. Let's have a quick run through the full order. There is Error, 53 seconds back in 13th place. Fingers just starting to find a little bit of pace, having had a little kissy up against the wall with another car. He is 3 seconds back from Drew Cam. Drew Cam running in 11th place. 5.5 seconds back from Mr. J. Dunners is 2.3 seconds on the road, second behind Battle. Is there any chance of a battle between them two, I wonder? Battle is where he started. That's, to be fair, I mean, if you can't improve, finish where you started at the very least, and that's what he's doing. 5 seconds up the road, we've got Connor, who is still sticking with McShmee, but can't get ahead. So he's sticking with Blumchum, but can't get ahead. McShmee has opened up a 2.2 second gap from Blumchum. He is the current championship leader, but that might change depending on the point dishing out here. Fastest lap from A. Riley, then McShmee again with the fastest lap. 1.7 is the gap to A. Riley. He is 2.5 seconds back from Grimey's running in 3rd place. Friendly Dutch running in 2nd. No penalties today. I'm surprised because I've seen some real interpretations of track limits here today. Freddie Dutch is 1 second back from Bimmerguy. Bimmerguy much better than the last race, and out in front, and he won't get any abuse off me for being there today. And he was rubbish in the last race, let's be fair, but doing much better here. It's much easier if you start at the front of the grid, of course, because then the onus is on the people behind you to pass and for you to stay on the track. That's all you've got to do. But when you've got that little bit of a gap, that 1.4 second gap, and we saw it last night in the GR4 and the GT racing, is that once you get a gap and the people behind you are fighting for position, what that actually allows you to do is just take your time, pick your lines, and start chucking in some faster laps, even without the use of things like slipstream. Is Grimey going to be able to make a move on Friendly Dutch? We're coming up to the line here, and this is Bimmerguy. He's going to win this race. Friendly Dutch 1.4 seconds back, and they're finally handed out a penalty. That's to Fingers. He's got to try and stay ahead of Drew Cam, though, if he wants to not drop a place. So Bimmerguy will win this race. Friendly Dutch will come home in 2nd place. He does hold Grimey off for that 2nd, 3rd for Grimey, 4th for O'Reilly, 5th for McShmee. Blumchum in 6th place. Connor just behind him in 7th. Battle comes home in 8th. Dunners in 9th place. Mr. J. There he goes. He comes home in 10th place. Fingers in 11th. Drew Cam will be 12th. Or will he? So Fingers in 11th. And looking at that gap, I think Fingers will just hold off. Drew Cam comes home in 12th, and Error will come home in 13th place. But here is the man of the hour, the man that did the business. Bimmerguy started 3rd, made up a couple of places early on, never looked in doubt, dominated those 5 laps, and brought home a good, juicy 25 of your lovely points. They're his first points today, of course. So that ought to put him level with Blumchum, had Blumchum finished last. But Blumchum did pick up some points, and we will go through the table in a minute once Error makes it home. And he will be there eventually. He's just coming around the last bend. Excuse me. So there's the winner. Blumchum from Friendly Dutch from Grimey. There's your top 3. Bimmerguy from Friendly Dutch from Grimey. What we're talking about. Blumchum won race number 1. And the finger in the air. The fist pump. What else can you do but celebrate a brilliant 5 laps of racing in the rain? Blumchum gets driver of the day. He did make up a lot of places, to be fair. He did the job that was required was to stay ahead of his championship rivals, and he did exactly that. And some lovely dancing there from Bimmerguy to show how pleased he is with his performance. The Canadian driver, of course, very happy with that. And who wouldn't be? losing my voice. I haven't even spoken much today. To be fair, I've done very little today. I've been a right lazy bastard, to be fair. I haven't even really... I played a couple of hours of PlayStation, but nothing really much. But there's your final rundown. Bimmerguy from Friendly Dutch, Grimy, A. Riley, McShmee, Blumchum, Connor, Battle Dunners, Mr. J, Fingers, Drew Cam, and Error. Fingers and Error both picking up penalties. So how does that put us in total for the standings? Blumchum still maintains his lead. It is extended by 8 points, 33 points for Blumchum. Bimmerguy, the Canadian, straight up into second with that 25 points. Just goes to show how close things can be. Friendly Dutch equal on 25 points, and Grimy on 25 points also. Connor is on 24 points, 9 points back. 23 for McShmee. A. Riley on 18. Dunners on 17. 12 for Battle Mini. 2 for Fingers. 1 for Drew Cam. 1 for Mr. J. And Error still to score a point. And, 8 races, he's bound to score at least 1, surely. He's going to start near the front of the grid, isn't he? So, it is reverse grid all over again. And we will keep doing that until we have a result at the very, very end. Is it reverse grid or reverse championship? That's what I need to remember. I can look it up, I suppose, can't I? There is no team event tonight, just to make it clear. It is purely just driver versus driver. The cars they are driving are irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. So it's reverse standings, not reverse grid, it's reverse standings. So as you move up the order, the further back you shall start. And we've got 2 more races to go, of course, before we have a little break. 8 races in total is the order today. Next, we are off to the Netherlands for Zandvoort, Circuit Zandvoort. Very, very tricky racetrack, this. And, I'm glad it's been added to F1, actually, because it is a racetrack that I've enjoyed driving on in the past. I just think we need to add some more tracks to F1. Killarney, for me, should be the next obvious choice to add of classic race tracks. But loving the track in the Netherlands, and of course, we've seen quite a resurgence. And we were talking about this last night, actually, because in Black Flag we've got quite a lot of Dutch drivers, and it's unusual to see. I'm not suggesting that Dutch drivers can't drive racing cars, of course, but it's unusual to see particularly UK formed race teams to have so many of one nationality in. But we've got a lot of Dutch drivers, and we were saying last night, a lot of Dutch guys were saying that the success of Max Verstappen in F1 has kind of galvanised an entire nation. And obviously not everybody can get into a racing car and race it, but what it has done is it's got a lot more people into things like sim racing, like we're doing now, and that's why there's this big kind of influx of. And you got to bear in mind, it's a country that's not, in terms of population, there's only about 19 million people in the Netherlands. It's not a hugely populated country, so to see such a big influx of people from that nation. Brilliant. I'm assuming you're talking about turkeys in the food pool and not assuming that when I say Zandvoort, I'm talking about turkey, because it's clearly the Netherlands. Did you mix up your turkeys in your Netherlands, or were you talking about the food, the meat? Who doesn't love a bit of turkey? To be fair, right, at risk of my missus hearing me, I could take it or leave it. I'll be happy with a little bit of beef or some chicken or a dog. No, I wouldn't eat a dog, of course I wouldn't. They don't keep very well in the fridge. No, look, it's all right, but it's nothing special. I think considering you can get a chicken for like a third of the price, given the choice, I'd probably just have a chicken. But unfortunately, I don't have a choice because my missus. When I tell you my missus loves Christmas, right? I don't think you understand just how much. Oh, the turkey. Yes, there is a really good circuit in Turkey, actually. Error is away in the lead, of course, because he is last in the championship. How long can he hold off as Fingers trying to make a move up the inside straight away from the outset, but doesn't make it stick up there, but is in third place. So good run from him this time. And they come together, Error and Fingers come together, coming out of that corner, and it's all gone horribly, horribly wrong for Fingers yet again. Drew Cab up into the lead of this race very briefly until Connor makes the move. They are side by side. It is a three-way battle at the moment. Drew Cab, Connor, Dunners. We've got Friendly Dutch just off the back of that. And Drew Cab at the moment winning out. He's in the lead of this race. He is half a second clear of Connor. Although that doesn't stick for very long. Is Connor going to make a move here? He looks round the outside. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Connor up into the lead. Really good move from him. There's a 3-second time penalty for Fingers for driving like a bellend. And he is down in 10th place after crashing into Error. That was an awful, awful mistake. And he should be flogged. He should be flogged repeatedly. So Connor up into the lead. Drew Cam does hold off into second. Friendly Dutch up into third, relegating Dunners down into fourth place. Bill Maguire running well again this time in fifth place. Nothing like the shenanigans of race number 1 where he couldn't find the racetrack. Now he is properly getting involved. Grimy makes the move though. Grimy looking very racy. And that was a 3-car overtake there from Grimy. He did lose back out again to Dunners, but I'll tell you what an overtake that was. Bimmerguile goes through as well. Mr. J drops down to 6th. Drew Cam down to 7th place. Blumchum only in 8th at the moment. He's got a few places to make up if he wants to stay at the top of the table. And there's the first one. Gets past Drew Cam up into 7th position. Riley not having the best time this race. Is down in 9th place. Was running in the top half both race number 1 and race number 2. There is Fingers with a 3-second penalty. Had to come together with Error. Big error for him. And the big bell end is now down in 10th place after crashing. But at the moment he's going to lose out to both Battle and Error with when he serves that penalty. So he's going to have to get on the loud pedal and move up a little bit if he can. McShmee way at the back has just suddenly decided that it's probably time to get involved and do some racing. Back in 13th position. There's your leader though. Connor is already on lap 3, 2.6. Yes, you heard it here, folks. On lap 3 in the F2 cars, in the Carling, he is 2.6 seconds clear. Well, he's not anymore. He's 2.8 seconds clear. But so long talking about it, he added another 2 tenths. And again, another 10th. He is looking so quick over Friendly Dutch. Friendly Dutch there is running in 2nd place. He's not building up a gap. He has got Dunners. He's got Grimy. They're both all over the back of him looking for any error, looking for any little gap to shove that car into and nick the position away from Friendly Dutch. It is all to race for. Blumchum's lead at the top of the championship, looking pretty damn ropey right now, down in 7th place. He's got some work to do. Connor is the one in the ascendancy, up in the lead of this race. Dunners getting ever closer to the back of Friendly Dutch. He's having a look up the inside, under braking though. Friendly Dutch just a little bit braver that time. When's Dunners going to chuck this one in? Is he going to leave it for a bit? Going to wait till lap 5 and have a little go? Or is he happy to sit in 3rd place and hope for a mistake ahead? But at the moment, 3rd place best for Dunners. Here we go with the slipstream tucked in behind here as they start lap 4 here at Zandvoort. He is on the outside. The Friendly Dutch does hold the inside line. Can he take it back? What a brilliant overtake from Dunners round the outside at turn 1 on Zandvoort to take the 2nd place away from Friendly Dutch. Great overtake that was. And what about Grimy? Is Grimy going to get involved in this battle now? Is Friendly Dutch finding himself getting swallowed up? There's a problem in sector 1. Who's crashed? Was it Fingers again? No, it's Error by the looks of things. Blumchum moving down the order. He's down to 10th place. Only 1 point you get for that. Really needs to move up the order. So McShmee up to 11th place. Really involved now. Error down in 12th. Fingers though, he is way back. He's behind Error. So not going too well for him. should probably leave Darren alone for a little while, shouldn't I? He's getting far too much abuse from me. Error running in 12th place, McShmee. He is running in 11th. He is 3.1 seconds behind the current championship leader, but not for very much longer. Blumchum, who is 2.4 seconds back from Battle 2 Mini 111 or Z Mini. He is just under a second behind A. Riley, and he is 1.3 behind Drew Cam. Drew Cam was the early leader, fastest lap there from Dunners. Is he going to close that 3-second gap down on this last lap? I don't think so. So let's have a look. Here is Connor. He is rounding into sector 1. At the moment, 3.2 seconds is the lead of this race for him over Dunners. Dunners is the fastest man on the track, but it's a lot of work to do if you want to get ahead at this stage. Really is. Connor leads from Dunners. Friendly Dutch, 1.9 seconds back. 2 seconds back, but Grimy still not giving up hope of another top 3 finish. He is all over the back of Friendly Dutch at the moment. And I tell you what, the way he's running, Friendly Dutch has got his work cut out to keep him behind. It is a big defensive drive from Friendly Dutch right now. Just cutting off every apex, making sure he's got the inside line every time, but being wary of an overtake round the outside, which is certainly possible, into the final corner. So we are going on board with Connor as he rounds that big sweeping bend here at Zandvoort. It heads up towards the start-finish line. He will win this race. That is race number 3. Connor is your winner there. Dunners comes home in second. Does get past Friendly Dutch. Friendly Dutch finishes in 3rd place. Grimy doesn't make 30, does finish in 4th. Bimmerguy comes home in 5th. Another top 5 finish for him. Mr. J, good finish from him. Some points for Mr. J. Some more points for Mr. J. Comes home in 6th place. Drew Cam home in 7th. 8th is A. Riley. Battle is 9th. Blumchum in 10th. McShmee in 11th. Eros out of the points yet again in 12th place. And Fingers comes home last. There is your winner here at Zandvoort. Connor with some big points. And that means all change at the top of the championship table. Driver of the day goes to Friendly Dutch. He is friendly, and I assume he is Dutch. Well, I assume he's friendly as well. It's a big assumption to make. I don't know the guy. He could be very unfriendly and very much not Dutch. But I love that. I haven't seen that celebration before. That's pretty damn cool. Pretending to be a racing car. I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this, I think. So you go, good result there for Connor. Spraying the obligatory champagne as you would expect. And we move on to the next race. It's that quick. 5 laps, and then we move on. We are off to the Festival of Speed in a minute. But let's have a quick look at the rundown. It was Connor from Dunners, Friendly Dutch from Grimy, Bimmerguy, Mr. J, good finish from him actually, Drew Cam, A. Riley, Battle, Blumchum with a poor finish for him, bearing in mind his championship credentials, McShmee, Error and Fingers at the very back of the pack. And here are your current championship standings. Connor moves into the lead of this championship. 49 points for him. Friendly Dutch is second, 40 points, 9 points behind. And that's how quickly things can change. Grimy is in 3rd. 37 points for him, 12 points back. Dunners just a point behind, 36. Point back to Bimmerguy on 35. And another point back to Blumchum on 34. They're your top 6. McShmee not out of it yet. Still running in 7th. And A. Riley running in 8th. They are not out of this yet. A couple of wins or a top 3 here or there. And the guys around them not necessarily doing so well. And that can all change. So we are 3 races in. And next we go to Italy, to Monza, the home of one of the greatest corners in motor racing, the Parabolica. And I only like it, not because it's a really car corner, because it sounds like parabolics. No, not really. No, I do actually like the corner. It's one of my favourite corners to do. I'm okay at it. But the thing about the Parabolica for me, it's one of those corners that absolutely makes or breaks your lap. It doesn't matter what happens in the rest of the lap, as long as you don't crash, obviously. But it's the single most important corner at Monza. You get a good exit out of there, and the rest of your lap will be better. You get a poor exit out of there. It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the lap. It doesn't matter how well you go for the Lesbos. It doesn't matter how well you take Ascari. That corner is key. To be fair, Ascari is a pretty damn cool corner as well. But Parabolica is absolutely key to a good lap around Monza, because you need to get on the power as soon as possible and make use of that very, very, very long straight before you go into turn one. I'll tell you what, it's going to be freaking carnage. It's going to be carnage into turn one. It always is. When you're racing and there's strategy in play, generally turn one can be a bit better. But I've found mostly whenever you race Monza in any sim racing scenario, whether it be on GT, whether it be on Assetto Corsa, whether it be here on F1, anywhere, turn one at Monza is always a crash fest. And it surprises me that people don't really consider that. You know, you can't odds for everybody else around you. What you can do is use your head and know that there's likely to be one or two that are going to go into turn one at Monza driving like a knob. So what you do is just avoid it. You know, if someone is coming too fast, just get off the racing line, get out of their way, let them fuck it up, because they crash their car, you're going past them anyway. So sometimes lose a couple of places to gain a few more is my advice for turn one at Monza. But we'll see. What will probably happen is we will go three abreast into turn one, and everyone will just turn upside down on top of each other, spill carbon fibre all the track, and everyone will die. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. So, current points standings. Connor leads the way, 49 points, 9 points clear of Friendly Dutch. So looking for a good performance here. Bimmerguy, Blumchump both looking for an improved performance. Particularly Blumchump, he had a really good first couple of races. But down the order now. Fingers, Error needs to pick up some points soon. Just for confidence more than anything else. Just to pick up a little bit of confidence, move himself up that order. Fingers would like to get a couple of points. He absolutely smashed the shit out of. To be fair, I think Error's last race was undone by Fingers wiping him out. Drew Cam has got 7 points where he would like to pick up a few more, as would Mr. J, to get themselves into double digits. So here we go, 30 seconds away for this 5-lap race around the Automobile Club d'Italia, the festival of speed that is Monza racetrack in Italy. Well, don't show me a broken down. I'm not expecting to rip it off. Please don't call childline. I didn't actually rip a nail off. It's a false nail. It's not a real one. And yes, I know a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old shouldn't have a false nail number. I don't care. Anyway, so here we go. This is race number 4. We will have a short break after this, and then we will go the last 4 races to find out who will be the champion. There's 4 lights, there's 5 lights, and we are go. Aaron leads them out. Fingers with him, second place. How well do they get into turn 1? That is going to be key, and we can already see everybody bunching up, heading down towards turn 1. How many crashes do we have? Error going straight on into the chicane. Fingers comes through in the lead. Hasn't killed anyone this time. So he leads them out. Drew Can running in second. Error in third. We saw Error going off the racetrack early doors. Actually, that's probably the safest thing to do, because that way you can't get into any shenanigans. We want position change up there. So Fingers up 1. Drew Cam up 1. Error loses 2 places and picks up a penalty for taking the scenic route. Losing another place there to McSchmears. He moves up into third. And another as A. Riley comes through as we head through the 2 Lesbos. Connor goes up into 6th place as well. Let's stay on board with Error because we're just watching everyone streaming through. There's Bimmerguy up into 6th place. Blumchum is the next driver targeting him, and he comes through up into 7th place. Dunners is next. He's 9th. As we head down towards the Parabolica for the end of lap 1, and Fingers this time leads us out. He didn't crash. He's doing all right this time. I might leave him alone. He has built up a 1.1 second gap, trying to pull desperately trying to pull away from the slipstream. 1:34.8. It's not a bad first lap, to be fair, around Monza. Drew Cam is behind him, 1.4 seconds back. McShmee comes through. Good exit out of Parabolica is key, as I said. McShmee got that. He's up into 2nd place. Drew Cam does hold on in 3rd. A. Riley holds on in 4th place. Has made up 1 place. But look at that from Connor. 7 places gained in just 1 lap here at Monza. He is absolutely on a charge. And he's on the grass there, moving down into, and a little tap into the back of McShmee there. And that should be a penalty for me. He unsettled that car. He got away with that by the looks of things. That is a bit of luck for Connor, to be fair, because that should be a penalty for crashing into the back of McShmee. Because not only did he gain a position on McShmee, he also gained a position. McShmee lost a place to Bimmerguy. So Connor up to 4th place, but 8 places gained. And he heads up towards Ascari. Love this shot. Coming through Ascari, down into 4th gear. Get it turned in and back on that power again. Little lift if you need to, but if you've got the grip, you come out of Ascari. Look at that exit out of Ascari. And he's straight into the back of A. Riley. How did he manage that? That was absolutely just switched off. His brain just went to sleep. And forgot that when you're in the slipstream, you go faster. And he wasn't able to remember to turn the wheel and get himself out of the slipstream and make the overtake. So all went horribly wrong. Fingers in the lead of this race, 4 seconds clear after 2 laps here at Monza. And it's going to be very difficult with how quick this track is to catch him now at this stage. So I can't give him any abuse, and it's not fair. Hopefully he'll crash and I can shout him. Drew Cam running in 2nd place. 2-second penalty for A. Riley. Drew Cam running in 2nd. He is 4.3 seconds behind the leader Fingers. Dunners 1.2 behind him. And I want to watch this view coming through Ascari because I absolutely love it. I wanted to watch the run from Ascari down to Parabolica, to be fair, but Connor decided that he would much rather wipe out another car than just pop out of the slipstream and do an overtake. Let's see if Dunners can demonstrate how it's done. Into Ascari in 4th. Stay on that power. You flick it to the right. You flick it to the left. You use the curbs. Look at that. That's a great exit he's got from there. He's going to make the move on Drew Cam here. Going down into the Parabolica. He goes up the inside. Who's the bravest under the brakes? Who's got the bravery here? And I think round the outside, I think if you've got the speed, sometimes you can make it. But that is how you make a move in the Parabolica. Dunners up to 2nd place. But now he's going to give up some slipstream to Drew Cam. And Drew Cam needs to drop in to that slipstream straight away, not go side by side. Should have dropped in there straight away. Got that straight line speed going down to the turn 1. And he's up the inside here. Does he make this move stick? He's not going to have the inside line coming out of it, though. And Dunners stays in 2nd place. 4.6 seconds now to Fingers, who's leading this race by some way. Someone put him in an F1 car and not told anyone. Place gained from him. 7 places gained by Dunners, who's running in 2nd place. Made a great overtake on Drew Cam. Nearly lost out to turn 1, but stayed ahead. There is Drew Cam tucked in behind. He's going to get a really good run out of the second Lesmo down towards Ascari. Will that give him the impetus to make a move into Ascari? It's a brave place to make a move, actually. Particularly the speeds you're going. Usually you only get an overtake done there if someone cocks up. Shmee has a penalty. How much of a penalty does he have? Let's have a little looky see. No, I don't want that. 2 seconds for McShmee, 2 seconds for Connor, 2 seconds for Riley. and a 3 for error as Connor moves up to 9th place. He was in such a good position. I don't get it. He was in such a good position to get some big points here as he headed down towards Parabolica. But for some reason just stayed in the slipstream and straight into the back of a Riley rather than just pulling out right or left and making a move. Very odd decision. Grimy with the fastest lap. That's all well and good, but he's in 7th place. He's about to make a move here on Friendly Dutch, though, up into 6th. He doesn't have the inside line, though. Can he make it? He's trying for that little kind of switcheroo. Doesn't work. Drops in behind Friendly Dutch as they go around the curve of Grande, and he's tucked in behind now for a bit more slipstream moving forward. Fingers gap on this last lap is cut to just 2.9 seconds. Let's have a run through from the back. We've already lost one driver from this race. Who is that? I'll work it out in a second. Mr. J. I know Mr. J's there. So Error is in 12th place. A. Riley in 11th. Mr. J in 10th position. Then we've got Connor running in 9th. 3.7 seconds behind Blumchum. Half a second back from Grimy. He is 2 seconds behind Friendly Dutch, looking to make a move there. I think that move's still on as they go down towards Parabolica. Brimmerguy up to 5th. Another top 5 for him. McSmee's got 2-second penalty. Will move down a couple of places. The Brimmerguy will benefit from that. Drew Cam in 3rd. 2 seconds behind Dunners. Dunners 2.3 seconds behind the current leader, who at one stage had a 4-second lead. But he will go round the Parabolica up into the start-finish straight and take a good 25 points here. So I'll tell you what, that's a massive change for him down in the bottom. Then Fingers takes the win here at Monza. So it turns out he's not as rubbish as I thought he was. Dunners is in 2nd. Drew Cam comes home 3rd. Bimmerguy promoted to 4th place because of the penalty for McSmee. He comes home in 5th. Grimy gets ahead of Friendly Dutch, finishing in 6th place. Friendly Dutch in 7th. Blumchum in 8th. Mr. J in 9th. 10th is someone else, and then 11th and 12th. And we lost one driver from this race, and I could try and work out who it is, or I could just wait and then it will show me afterwards. Driver of the day, Dunners. He did make a really good run forward. Did some good work closing down that gap, but all the shenanigans behind gave Fingers just that impetus to get forward. And there he is, red hat, Red Bull uniform. So there we go, race number 4 done. And a good win there. So we've had 4 different winners from 4 races so far. Connor's been the most consistent driver up until Monza, when he just had a massive brain fart. I don't know what he was thinking. So big brain fart for him with a penalty. Only gets the 1 point. So it's Fingers from Dunners, Drew Cam, Bimmerguy, McSmee, Grimy, Friendly Dutch, Blumchum, Mr. J picks up some points. Error still not scored any points. Connor, Riley and Error at the back of the pack. This is how the championship table looks. Dunners takes the lead of this championship. He is the current reigning LNR champion. I believe he's still top of the leaderboard as well. And now he's winning the Christmas tournament as well. 4 points clear of Connor. Bimmerguy in 3rd. Friendly Dutch in 4th. Grimy in 5th. 6th is Blumchum. Fingers moves up to 8th place with that 25-point haul there. Mr. J now in double figures. Error still to score points. Still need some points from him, man. What's occurring? So there we go. We are down to just 12 of the... No, we've got 13 runners. What happened to the last one? Who was it we were missing? Who didn't race last time out? Was it Drew Cam? I think it was Drew Cam we didn't have in the last race. So we're going to have a short break. Then we will be back. Back once again with some 4 more races. We've got Spain, Baku, China and Abu Dhabi as our last 4 races. So I love Spain. Really. I'm not so keen on it in Formula 1 cars, to be honest, but I do like it in GT class cars. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. That will be our next race, but we're having a short break and we will be back shortly. back in the room. About 4 minutes, four minutes or so of the break left. So let's have a little recap. We've had some great racing. Blumchum set the tone in race number 1, put in a win. Hasn't been able to recreate those heroics though, and work his way through the field. Because it's reverse championship order every race, you really have some work to do to win this if you want to put in consistent performances. We've had 4 different winners from 4 races so far. We saw a great race from Fingers in race number 4 there at Monza. Picks himself up for 25 juicy points and goes from 2 points to 27 in one big jump. Connection state's looking a little bit shit though, looking at it there. So everybody in double figures, other than Error needs to pick up some points somewhere. Where does Error get these points from? He's going to start from the front of the grid. So can he open up a gap somewhere? Can he stay within the mix at some point and stay out? To be fair, there's been a couple of races. It hasn't been his fault. He got caught up with Fingers in race number 3. They're coming together. Just needs to try and stay out of trouble. Get some points on the board. Dunners makes his way into the lead. He's got a point to prove, obviously, as the reigning champion, and he's looking to make a point. And he'll want to win this going into the Christmas break. Connor's been doing consistently well, and he would be in the lead of this championship if not for his brain shutting down, coming out of a Ascari and driving into the back of Riley and ruining his race at Monza. But brain farts happen. We all do it, particularly when it's so. There's two ways it happens. It happens either when you've got a long endurance race, and you've been driving for a few hours and things go a little bit wrong, or when you've got races that are so short and it is frantic and it is frenetic and it is crazy paced, and you're just trying to gain as many positions as you can as quickly as possible. It's only 5 laps, so you really do need to go for every overtake available to you. But that said, Connor didn't make the overtake. The overtake was available to him, he just didn't take it. So he is currently in second, but has been relatively consistent other than that. Bill Maguire, bad race number 1, but has redeemed himself up into 3rd in the championship as we get to this halfway point. Friendly Dutch, again, been very consistent with some good lap times, some good solid finishes, currently sitting 4th. Grimy, he's the one to watch. He's been the overtake king. He's done some crazy overtakes. And made them stick as well. Currently level on points with Friendly Dutch on 46. Then we've got Blumchum driving the MP Motorsport car. Just needs to get the same kind of performance he had in race number 1 and get some more points on the board. McShmee, 33 points, just 5 points back. Fingers after that win is another 6 points back from there in 8th place. Drew Cam, 22 points, level on points with A. Riley, who really lost out in that last race at Monza because of the crash. Mr. J is in double figures, 11 points on the board for him. And we've got Era, our glorious host. Unfortunately, 0 points on the board for him at this stage. But there's still 4 races to go. And anything can happen in those 4 races, as we have seen. We are, a couple of minutes left from coming back to the racing, of course. I was going to talk about what's coming up on Black Flag next year. There's loads of stuff happening. We move into the new season for Smoking Paredes. That's on a Thursday evening from 7:15. In the new year, we start into the next season. We've got some great stuff coming up across the other side of the pond. I do Black Flag Racing does some commentary for teams outside of Europe, and we're doing a lot of work with the guys from GT Champions at the moment. Their championship finished at the beginning of December. We did the All Stars race, which was essentially it's a race of all the sort of top drivers from 4 divisions and the commentary team, except me. So the 2 other commentators decided to race while I character assassinated them over the weekend. That's at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday. They have just announced the 2023 Porsche Cup, which will be on GT7. That will be that's available to sign up for whenever you are ready. Or to be fair, I don't even know if there's any space left. It's been quite popular. That's coming up in 2023 on Black Flag TV, followed by obviously the GT Champions tournament itself. GT Fusion will be back for 2023. GT Fusion is the oldest and the biggest GT7 championship available. It's been around longer than GT7 have been doing championships. So long before GT7 were running daily races and their own FIA sanctioned championships, GT Fusion had a world championship going, and I'll be back as part of the broadcast team for that. We are talking between 15 and 20 groups a week. Every month they run just one race, and it's a team competition, and of course individuals get to race, but it's done on team performance. And congratulations to Prima Racing, who have a team entered into GT Fusion. They won the team championship, and I think it was Poland that won the national championship for that. We will have the hopefully, if they invite me back, the next round of the Lithuanian GR3 championships, which we did in 2022. Hopefully we'll do that again in 2023. They're still talking to me, I think, so that should happen again. Plus, we've got loads of stuff coming up with Black Flag. But we are here. This is race number 5, and we are ready to go again. Error sees us away right at the beginning of this race and already loses out to Mr. J straight off the line. Mr. J with a big jump there up into first place. A. Riley in third. Fingers in fourth. Up to third, back to fourth. And there's a spin there. Who's that? How are they coming together? That's Error and who else was that? They coming together. Was that Mr. J? Mr. J and Error have a coming together, and they are way down the order, down in 9th and 11th. That promotes A. Riley into the lead here at Barcelona. Love this racetrack. Can he build up a little bit of a lead? Fingers up into second. He's staying out of trouble now, starting to show him a better pace, his Fingers. So there is your current leader. Drives for the Alfa Romeo team. I was trying to remember who he drove for them. Drives for Alfa Romeo in the main event, of course. Currently 6/10 up from Fingers, running in second place. Blumchum, good start from him. He's up into third place, half a second back. He's got Grimy. Grimy's the, I'll tell you what, Grimy's the one to watch out for. I really think he is a shoo-in, potential shoo-in for a top 3 in this championship. He's been very consistent. There or thereabouts, picking up points in every race, picking up some good points in every race as well. Currently running in 4th place. He is right up behind Blumchum. And with a name like Blumchum, you think that's where he kind of likes it. Friendly Dutch running in 5th place. Fastest lap from A. Riley, as you would expect, being in the lead of this race. Friendly Dutch running in 5th place. He's got McShmee just behind him. Dunner's running in 7th. Connor in 8th place. There is Error in 9th. He's 2.4 seconds back already. Bimmerguy, not a great start from him. And that's Bimmerguy. You can't park that there, mate. He's back in 12th place, coming together. Spun him around. He is plumb last. 5.2 seconds back. And that gap's going to get bigger. Mr. J through Error in the top 10. Come on, Error. Stay there. Get some points on the board. Rooting for you, man. Rooting for you. And it all goes horribly wrong. And he's off the racetrack. And... oh no, he's not. That was Drewcam going off the racetrack. So Error in 11th place. Can he close up on Drewcam after Drewcam decided to take the long way around? Still leading this race though is A. Riley. We're on lap 2 here at Barcelona as we come into this big. This is a big section here. You get the turn right here, then you're round to this right. You sweep round to this right hand side, and Fingers getting very, very close, actually. Just go on board with Fingers. Let's give him a bit of love, because I did abuse him coming into this race. Into the chicane. You've got to be careful of those sausages, but on the power, should be taking it a little bit wider, I think, but you head down. Stick to this left-hand side if you can. A. Riley with fastest lap. Brumchum, Grimy with a 29. Connor, 29.0 dead. So Connor looking very, very quick. Got some work to do here. Break point is around that 50-metre board. Get it turned into third gear. Get it turned round. Flick to the left-hand side. You have a little lift here before you get back on the power. And don't be scared to let it drift out wide. You can go wider than you think here as you go under the Emirates Bridge. Change down into third gear again. Get that rotation in the car. Then back on the power. You head down. This is a very, very tricky turn. Third gear, second gear maybe, just to get the rotation before you back on the power again. Use all the road here though. Use all the road, and he's not using all the road, which is why the gap is opening up. Again, down to third gear before you get on the power. Be careful of the extra road on the left-hand side. Then you turn around here, take it nice, 2-second time penalty. That's probably justified, particularly for that one there. As you head down here, this is a big braking zone. Second gear you need, and you've got to be careful not to drift too wide before you turn back in on the power. Little lift while you get it turned. Then when you see that orange board ahead of you, back on that power again, you head down towards this right-hander. In you go. And then you've got your chicane. Avoid the sausage if you can. It really unsettles your car. As we saw right there, see? It's almost as if to demonstrate it. Unsettles his car. And A. Riley, 1.4 seconds. That's what happens. Those sausages really unsettle you. And now Blumchum really close to the back of Fingers. He's going to make this move with the slipstream. He makes the move into the braking zone. And it's stuck. He's made it stick. And remember, Fingers has got a penalty as well. He's going to drop down the order. If he doesn't start to improve his lap time. We know Grimey's quick. Grimey now looking to make some moves. It is A. Riley, 1.5 seconds clear now from Blumchum, who's made the move around Fingers. Fingers with a 2-second penalty. Error back in 12th place in the pits as well. Who's the 13th driver that's not out there? Mr. J's still out there. I'll try to work out who it is. Grimey up into third. He makes that move into third place. It's Error's retired from this session, so no points for him. Come on, man. Come on, we need you to pick some points up. Fingers in fourth place. Is he going to get caught now by Connor? Because we know Connor's very quick. Connor wants to pick up some points. He had a bad race last one. Has he discovered how to have? And that is a spin from him. Was he tagged from behind? That's the question. And he's putting his hand in the air, so you would assume that's going, and definitely spins that time. And that was nothing but Connor error. Fingers error as he spins round. So Connor up into 5th place, Dunners into 6th, Mr. J in 7th, McShmee in 8th place, Drew Cam in 9th. We lost Bimankai and Error retired from this race. So Fingers will pick up a point, but from 10th position. With the penalty, Drew Cam in 9th place. So out in front on lap 5, coming through sector 1. Here is your leader, A. Riley. He is 2.1 seconds clear of Blumchum. Blumchum not able to close that gap significantly enough. He's going to have a little bit of slipstream if he closes up on one little section here, but he's going to have to get the work done through the corners. But he can't do that. Well, Grimey makes the move up into 2nd. So it doesn't matter what he wanted to do. Grimey makes the move up into 2nd place. Friendly Dutch up into 4th. 1.5 seconds back from that top 3. Dunner's just a second behind. And he's got Connor all over him. Like a really bad rash on a very skanky hoe. All over the back of him. And he's potentially going to make a move around the outside here. Go for the little switcheroo maybe. He doesn't, but waiting for that gap. He needs a gap here. And he's taking slightly different lines through every corner. And, nearly loses the back end. Just saves it, but that will be the end of his charge. As we see A. Riley come round this last corner. And here he goes to take the win here at Barcelona. And there we go. Fastest lap from Grimey with a 1:28. Riley wins this race. Grimey comes home in 2nd. 1.4 seconds back. Blumchum in 3rd. Friendly Dutch in 4th. Dunners in 5th place. Connor comes home in 6th. Just wobbly back end and cost him extra points there. McShmee in 7th. Mr. J in 8th. Drew Cam in 9th place. And Fingers will finally, he's finally restored order. And he's back at the back where he belongs. And comes home in 12th place. Good. Well-deserved win there from A. Riley. Yes, Aaron definitely deserved that. And another driver of the day from Grimey. He's doing everything but picking up wins. He's picking up fastest laps. He's picking up driver of the day. He's getting himself on the podium. But actually, I'm looking. That's a girl. I'm assuming that Grimey is a girl then. Sorry for calling Grimey she. He. If someone could clarify that, it'd be quite useful. But the assumption should be correct, bearing in mind that that's a female. It could be a female avatar because he likes looking at females rather than males. But who knows? I shouldn't use non-binary pronouns, really, shouldn't I? But it's too difficult. It's too much of a head fuck to get around. So there you go. There is your finishing order for race number 5. A. Riley from Grimy, from Blumchum, Friendly Dutch, Dunners, Connors, McShmee, Mr. J, Drew Cam, Fingers, Bimmerguy and Error were do not finishers. And what does that do to the leaderboard? It puts Grimy on the top of the pile. 1 point clear of Dunners. 65 points for Grimy. Connor in third place. 58 points. Drops down a place. Friendly Dutch stays where they were. In fourth, Blumchum up 1 to 5th. Sound like a Sunday afternoon like Poppickers. Bimmerguy with his song Art Grand Prix. Loses down 1 place to 6th. And A. Riley with Campos Racing jumped from him up in 7th place, 47 points, joint now with Bimmerguy, and then McShmee just after them. So there we go. That's another race chalked off. We've only got 3 left, man. I could do this all night. Loving it today. Absolutely loving this shit. They should have done an entire race calendar of just 5 laps at a time. That would have been awesome. I think everyone would have been tired and grumpy, but it would have been fun for me. So there we go. That's Spain out of the way. We now go to Azerbaijan for the race at Baku, and this is how it looks. Error still to score a point here. Really want Error to pick some points up. Come on, Error in that Trident car. Pick up some points for us. In 13th place, 15 points for Mr. J in the Campos car. Drew Cam for High Tech with 24 points. Fingers back, order was restored. He picked up that win at Monza. It shows it was just an anomaly. He is on 28 points in 9th place. McShmee in the other Prima car, 39 points for him. A. Riley up to 47 points after that big 25-point haul in the last race. Joint on points with Bimmerguy. Did not have a good race last time out. Bad race number 1. Bad race number 4. Much improvement needed if he wants to get involved in this championship. Blumchum up to 5th place, 53 points. Then we've got Friendly Dutch and Connor joint 3rd place on 58 points. And then 6 points up to Dunners in the other Carling. And the leader now, Grimy, finally gets into the lead of the race. Some really, really good racing throughout for Grimy. And well deserved to take that lead, but it's only a 1 point difference. Literally anything can happen. Grimy is going to set out to finish first, but obviously we'll start last. But the target has got to be beat Dunners, beat Connor, beat Friendly Dutch. If you can do that at this stage, maybe Blumchum as well, then you put yourself in a good stead as we start to head towards the business end of this 8-race Christmas special Formula 2 tournament with late night racing. We've been at Bahrain, we've been at Australia, we've been at Zandvoort, we've been at the iconic Monza. We had a little break and then we went to Barcelona. We now move to Azerbaijan and the Baku street circuit, followed by China, and then culminates at Abu Dhabi. And of course you finish at Abu Dhabi. That's where all good racing series finish, right? Wrong. I think they should mix it up. I think the F1 calendar should change every year, and you start in different places and finish in different places. And I think Monaco should be removed, and I'm quite vocal about that. I think Monaco has no place for Formula 1 racing. It's outdated and old and stupid. The race is actually on a Saturday. Unless they do sprint racing, they do sprint racing at Monaco, and I might change my mind. Or banger racing. So reverse grid again. This time we will see Grimy start from the very, very back of the pack, having been very quick and now heading up the championship. We're back with late night racing and normal season resuming in 2023. And I may or may not return for the following season. No, of course I will. I'm back for the following season. And on Fridays as well, we'll have another F1 stream. But here we go. We go again. Here at Azerbaijan, nice long straight at the end of this race, which is loads and loads of overtaking opportunity. Mr. J losing out at the very start, and Fingers goes through. Now, Fingers on. There's a big coming, a big big coming together at the back there. We've got loads of cars, loads of bits of carbon fibre. McShmee is not last. There's bits of car on the road there. A. Riley worse off there in 12th. McShmee loses out. Drew Cam loses out. Era loses out. Mr. J running in second place. Come on, Mr. J. We also want Era. We want Era to pick up points. Can he hold on in ninth place? That's a big drop down the order there for Era. Grimy way back in 8th place. But it looks like Fingers is good with tracks with no corners. I'm joking. So if it's got long straights and few corners, that seems to be his forte. Big dive there. Did you see that dive from, I think that was Connor making that dive, into 6th place. Really good move. But loses out to Grimy as Grimy moves up into 7th place. Was that someone in the wall there? I thought it was someone in the wall. It was not. But there's your race leader. Fingers half a second clear of Mr. J holding on there. And do you know what? I'm a big fan of back markers, as I talk about on a regular basis. And the reason I'm a fan of back markers is because I am one. And what I love most about back markers, and there are two types of back markers. There are those that go into the race and then throw a paddy after about 4 laps and fuck off. And there are those that race every lap, knowing they're going to be last and still put in the laps and crack it on. And Mr. J's one of those. Era's another one as well, but Mr. J's one of those. And does pick up some points like this. So I really like it when I see drivers like him at the front. I mean, Black Flag Racing, we've got our own Mr. J. He's old man J. He's my I would say number 2. He's not my number 2. He's my co-leader of Black Flag and deals more with the sort of racing side of things. I will do in 2023. Mr. J up into the lead of this race. Go, little car, go! And he takes the lead. And can he pull out a big lead here now? As Fingers stays in second place. Grimy trying to make a move a little bit wide. And that just gives Mr. J a little bit of impetus to open up a gap. So Mr. J in the lead, 1.2 seconds clear of Fingers, who is who's that? Just doing a little pirouette. So lots of sliding all over the racetrack for everyone. So Fingers ahead of Connor. Connor running in 3rd place. Connor needs these points. Grimy moves up ahead of Dunners, ahead of Blumchum. Friendly Dutch is Grimy's next target. And spin there from Grimy. Grimy facing the wrong way. You can't park that there. And Grimy now plumb last. So the championship lead will change hands again. Loving it. And will this guy, Mr. J, will he hang on for a win here today? And I'm beginning to wonder whether this format is a good idea for a season. You know, I was planning an F1 2022 season for Black Flag, somewhere doing something. But I'm wondering whether we do something like this as well as a proper season. Is just do like a kind of couple of one-off events where you do like 8-10 tracks in an evening, 5 laps each, and absolutely just melt it, reverse championship order every time. Whether it be on here or whether it be on, I don't know. I like this format. I'm going to do something with this format, I think. It makes for good viewing, and it's pretty darn awesome. Excuse me. Mr. J leads this race from Connor. Connor up to second place, 1.2 seconds to gap. We're on lap 3 here. Mr. J has just 2 more laps, or 2.5 laps. 3 laps actually, because it's only lap 2. Just lap 3 started. Yeah, 3 laps. To hold on, really. Connor trying to do something behind. Has cut it down to 8 tenths. Can Mr. J stay ahead? Can he pull out of the slipstream and make it hard for Connor to catch? Fingers 1.7 seconds back in 3rd place, with Friendly Dutch just 6 tenths back from that. Oh, hang on, I need a drink. Sorry, I've got a dry throat. That's better. Blumchum running in 5th place. I'm going to lose my voice today, am I? Blumchum running in 5th place, just a second back from Friendly Dutch. Dunners in 6th. Very, very close together. That front kind of, you've got the front 2, then you've got a kind of good battle. Friendly Dutch, Fingers, Blumchum. And that is Blumchum diving through the order. What's gone on there? He's had a problem. He's down to 7th place. We saw Grimy on the last lap melting that car. facing it the wrong way. They're back up into 11th. And look at that. Error running in 10th in the points. Come on, Error. Hang on there in 10th place. Get yourself a point. Get yourself on the board. You absolutely deserve it. Bimmerguy running in 9th place. Drukam. And I'm assuming that's not some sort of... losing the place to 9th. I wonder why he was in 8th, and then I looked and said he was 9th. Lost that place to Bimmerguy down into 9th. And Drukam, I'm assuming that's not his Pornhub name or his OnlyFans name. And that he... can he... See that? That is what you're supposed to do. That is what Connor failed to do at Monza. Pull out the slipstream and take a place like that. Grimy with a 152.9. He's not going to stay back in 11th place for too long. He keeps putting in lap times like that. But not going to win this race. Not from there. Not now. So Connor does take the lead of this race from Mr. J. But Mr. J still holding on. Fingers dropping way down the order now. Not managing to maintain that the early lead that he had. So Connor is in first place. He's 1.6 seconds now. Now he's got ahead. He's opening up that gap. And this is a very odd circuit, Azerbaijan, as a street circuit goes. Because it's got that crazy, crazy long straight. And then you've got this really kind of complicated, very street circuit kind of section here. I mean, that bit there, around the, that's the castle section. That's very, very tricky. And you can absolutely cock that up without too much effort. So you need to be careful through that castle section. But then the kind of track opens up. And you come around, you've got this left-hander coming up here. Which you take in third gear. And, avoiding the wall. Changes down to second just to get that rotation. Lastminute.com. And then you've got this turn here, which is quite tricky. Again, second gear. And then it opens out and you're on the power now. You have to get this right. Because you have to lift there. You can't flat out there. It's almost straight, but not quite. And you have to lift, because if you don't and you lose the grip, look, I've taken it flat on odd occasion, but you have to have such grippy tyres, and when it goes horribly wrong, you will fly off into a wall and your race is over. But Connor now 1.9 seconds clear of Mr. J, who's hanging on here on lap 5 for some juicy points. I love to see a backmarker picking up big points like this. An error drops out of the top 10. Come on, man. Friendly Dutch running in third place, just half a second back. McShmee 1.6 back in fourth. Blumchum back in fifth. 7/10 back as coming in through sector 1, out of sector 1, just say. Dunners in 6th place, 1.3 seconds behind Blumchum. Fingers dropping down the order. 1.8 seconds difference now. And Drukam coming up behind. Is he going to lose another place to Drukam? And it's 0898927126 to see Drukam in his pants. That number may or may not be accurate. And Drukam does make the overtake up into 7th place. Grimy up to 9th. We saw Grimy facing the wrong way. That's why. And coming together there, that is between Drukam and Fingers. And that, and Bimmerguy involved as well. That gets Grimy up into 7th place. Bimmerguy up into 8th. Fingers, A. Riley and Drukam 9th, 10th, 11th. That's Error in 12th place. Can Error capitalise on the damage on those cars and nick his point finally? So here comes Connor, 4.2 seconds. Once he got in the lead of this race, it was never really in any doubt at all. And we have lost one from this race. We've only got the 12 off the 13 running. And Connor will come home and bring the big W home against him. That's the second one for Connor, isn't it? 2 wins for Connor, I think it is. And Mr. J retired from this session. Absolutely gutted for him. Fingers retires as well. That means Error picks up a point. And the fanfare, oh no, Error also retired. What does this guy have to do to pick up a point? And Connor wins this race from Friendly Dutch. Dunners in 3rd, Blumchum in 4th, Grimy in 5th place. And again, Error you know, we see Mr. J. Mr. J was looking to shoe in for top 3, and then it just went horribly wrong and drops out of the order. And another driver of the day from Grimy, despite the fact that Grimy was facing the wrong bloody way on this racetrack. And there we go. So another result there from Connor, and it's starting to look like a 3-4 horse race at the top of this championship. But big fields for Jay. Lost out there, and it looked like Era was going to pick up his first point, but he also had to retire from this race. So fingers again involved in another collision. Someone needs to cut that boy's fingers off, man, and take that steering wheel away from him. Crashy, crashy. So there, another race down. We've only got 2 races left, man. Holy shitballs. Just 2 races left to decide this championship. And so there we go. There's the final order. It is Connor from Friendly Dutch, from Dunners, Blumchum, Grimy, Bimmerguy, McShmee, A. Riley, Drew Cam, Mr. J, Error. Mr. J does pick up a point for 10th place, but Error should have that point. Give it to Error. Fingers in 12th place. And where does that leave us in terms of the championship? Top 3 looks like this. Connor back in the lead, 83.4 point gap over Dunners in second. Friendly Dutch for Trident, 76 points. Joint with Grimy in 4th. Blumchum just behind, 65 points in 5th place. It's looking like those top 4 are going to battle this out for this Christmas championship. The Christmas special, the staple of British TV over the course of the Christmas period, is the Christmas special of anything you do. So there we go. So there is your full order. Connor in the lead, 4 points clear of Dunners. Friendly Dutch in third, just 3 points back, level with Grimy. Grimy would be much further up had they not had that big cock up at Azerbaijan. Blumchum 65 points, just 11 seconds back from that. 11 points back from that. 10 points back to Bimmerguy in 6th. 4 points back to Riley. Then we've got 6 points back to Shmee, and then we've got the rest. We've got Fingers, Drew Cam, Mr. J, and Error still to pick up a point. What does this man have to do to get a point? Come on, man. Rooting for Error, rooting for Mr. J. I really thought Mr. Now, if Mr. J had finished in that top 3, they would be up in around that midfield with Bimmerguy and well, maybe not quite that high. But certainly above Fingers, around McShmee, that kind of way. Such a shame. Such a shame they didn't get the points. But, you know, it is what it is. It is racing. That's what happens. Got to root for the underdog. So, 2 more races left. We're now off to China for... I'm not going to say it's one of my least favourite racetracks, because that's Suzuka. That's been clear that I freaking hate Suzuka. Suzuka and Nordschleife. Nordschleife is a stupid racetrack. Why anyone want to race around there for... you know, how are you supposed to memorise a track with 130 fucking corners? It's ridiculous. But less about that. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Suzuka. I'm a great fan. I love watching it. I like driving it. China... I'll give or take. It's a funny racetrack. It can be quite complicated, China. It's one of those racetracks where it's for me. It's like Laguna Seca. It's a kind of rhythm racetrack. If you can find your rhythm around it, you can have a really good race. But if you don't get that rhythm early on, you're going to struggle. And because there's only 5 laps here, it's going to be very difficult to build up any kind of rhythm. So we move on. We move on to Shanghai, China. We've got 5 more laps there. Then we've got 5 laps at Abu Dhabi. And then we will crown our champion. I still think it's... there's 4 people in it here. And I really can't call it. So listen. We go again. Error and Mr. J are at the front of the pack again. How long can they hold out? Come on, guys. Pick up some juicy points. I'll tell you what. Pick up some points and make the guys battling for the championship have to fight it out in the last race to see who gets it. That'd be good. Mix it up a bit. If you can pick up the big points, then they don't. There we go, 2 seconds, 1 second, and 0 seconds. Here we go, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. They go out, and away we go. Error and Mr. J lead us out again. Mr. J gets that jump on Error. Come on, Error, stay in there. Fingers up, Drew Cam's up. Error already down to 4th place. Mr. J, does he hold out? How long does he hold out? And there is collisions all around at the back of the pack. So busy watching the action at the front, we didn't know. And that is fucking carnage, is the only way to describe that. Is Carmageddon. See what I did there? Carmageddon. Blumchum gets absolutely butt-fucked at the back, with cars just piling into him. 8.3 seconds back. Friendly Dutch in 11th place. Penalties all around for them. That is 4 seconds for Friendly Dutch. That's 2 seconds for Grimy. That is 2 seconds for Bimmerguy. Then we've got Connor, who was briefly in 8th, is now in 9th. Bimmerguy moving up the order, actually. Connor down in 9th place. Error in 8th. Bimmerguy in 7th with 2 seconds worth of penalties. Riley with 2 seconds worth of penalties in 6th. Then we've got Fingers running in 5th place. Dunners in 4th. Drew Cam in 3rd. McShmee in 2nd. And Mr. J at the very, very front of the pack. And I can't believe Error is already in 11th place, man. Pick up some freaking points, dude. I'm trying to keep the commentator's curse away from you, but it's not happening. Mr. J leads him out again. How long can he hold on this time? Last time he couldn't hold on very long. Ended up way, 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 way down the order. And this is a tricky racetrack here at China. But let's do the on-board with Mr. J. We always do it with the quick drivers, don't we? So here we go. Fastest lap for him. Obviously, he's out in the front. You're onto this left-hand side, 50-metre ball. Slam on the anchors. Get it turned in. And it's a long, long, long right-hand turn one here. It's technically 3 turns, but yeah, it's a long right-hander. If we go into this left-hander, which kind of sweeps back around on itself, and then you're on that power, and the road kind of chinks to this right-hand side before you look at this big 180 switch back here, and you want to get a late apex there, to get an early exit, and that's what happens when you don't get the late apex. You get McShmee flies past you, he floats round to this left-hand side, and that's a 2-second corner cutting penalty for Error, before sweeping back round to the right. Then you've got this kind of double apex left-hander. It is 2 turns there, but it's like that double apex at Suzuka. And you're on the power again before you've got a big braking zone here, 50-metre board again. That's where the brakes go on. Get it turned in. Left and right, very similar to the last couple of corners at Paul Ricard, which is a fucking awful track. The worst track in the world. Before we sweep round to the right hand side, then on the power, and there is Dunners moving up into 2nd place around Mr. J. So Mr. J losing out 2 places on that lap. There is McShmee in the lead of this race, 1.4 seconds clear of Dunners, and Dunners makes the move on Mr. J. Mr. J not letting him go just yet, just 6/10 back. Then we've got Drew Cam in 4th place. It is 6/10 back to him. Fingers holding on in 5th place at the moment. All the really quick guys, other than Dunners, all the really quick guys are way, way back down the order, because it was absolute carnage on that one. Lap 1, corner 1 just went horribly, horribly wrong for everybody. Connor is the best of the rest. At the moment, he is 4 tenths back behind Fingers. Should, on his pace, nearly ploughed into the back of him there, coming out, so much better traction coming out of that corner, nearly ploughed into the back of Fingers, but learned his lesson from ploughing into the back of A. Riley going in a straight line. Talking of Riley, there he is, boy. 7th place, 6 tenths back with a penalty to serve, goes round Mr. J. Mr. J just dropping through the order now, unfortunately. Grimy took the lead of this championship, albeit for we'll see how long these guys are in and amongst the top. But 4 seconds of penalties for A. Riley, which suggests that it's not going to be plain sailing. Grimy in 7th place at the moment, 8 tenths back. Friendly Dutch running in 8th. 1.3 seconds off the back of it's going to be, to be fair, with that amount of drivers of the day, you've got to be assuring for driver of the tournament, right? No, because driver of the tournament is going to be the person that freaking wins it. As Grimy moves past Riley up into 6th place. Fingers is the next target for Grimy. Error in 9th place. Come on, hold in there. You've got a 6-second penalty though, with Blumchum in 10th place. And I'll tell you what, with the penalties ahead of Blumchum, they're going to nick probably 3 places here because of the penalties ahead of them. Fastest lap for Dunners, who's currently running in 2nd place. Mr. J in 11th from initially first on the grid in lap 1, all the way down. And Bimmerguy having another bad lap, man. Come on, dude, you're better than this. Bimmerguy showed so much promise after the bad race 1, but it's not come to any kind of fruition. But Mr. J with a fuck, those penalties should carry over into the next race. There's so many of them. So Shmi leads this race 1.6 seconds from the current and reigning season champion Dunners. 1.7 seconds back for them. Drew Cam running in 3rd place, 3.8 seconds back. Will they stay there? Depends on Connor. Connor's been looking pretty darn racy all day. Apart from at Monza, when he was looking pretty damn crashy. But for the rest of the races, Connor has been pretty darn racy. As has Grimy. Grimy named so because they are filth. Absolute filth. That may or may not be true. They've got 2-second penalties. So, at the moment, Fingers is doing enough to take 5th place. But we know how quick Grimy can be, and there's only a lap left, and they will probably still open up that gap. Anyway, Fingers in 6th, Riley in 7th. As we see, Fingers just going very wide. And listen, you can't fucking park that there, mate. I've told you. But the fact that he doesn't have, he's just got to stay on the track. You haven't got a penalty. Riley's got 4 seconds. Grimy's got 2. Get within a couple of seconds and you can take 5th still. In fact, it doesn't matter if Friendly Dutch takes you, because that's there's 6 seconds of penalties going on there. Let's have a quick look at improvements. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Connor with 9 place jump. There's driver of the day, or Dunners. Is it driver of the day for Dunners or Connor? Another penalty for error. Do you want to get a fucking point or what? Seriously. I can't wish you any more points, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe I should just curse you with saying you're going to crash and you might fucking win a race. Shmi is leading this race 1.5 seconds from Dunners. Dunners is 5 seconds clear of Connor. Connor's not going to catch Dunners at this stage. As McShmee coming into sector 3, very much leading this race, and not been doing too, been a bit up and down, but certainly deserves a decent result at this stage. I hope I don't lose my voice before the end of this. Feels like I am. So McShmee will take the win here. Just coming down to the final sector here. Get it turned in for this big 180 before you get on the power. Very briefly. Then to that right hand side. Onto the brakes. We sweep it round to the left hand side to take the win here for McShmee. So McShmee comes home in 1st place. Dunners home in 2nd. Connor will come home just behind in 3rd place. Followed by Drew Cam and Grimy. Very, very close there. A. Riley comes home in 6th. 7th actually. Fingers home in 5th because of the penalties. Blumchum will be 8th. Friendly Dutch in 9th. Error in 10th place. Is this points for error? Is this finally points for error? There's your winner, of course. There is McShmee, who picks up 25 juicy points. But driver of the day goes to Dunners. To be fair, it could have been either one of those two that finished 2nd and 3rd. I think he gets it because he finished 2nd. But did Error get points? Error picks up a point. Finally, it might be race number 7. But there is a point on the board for error. And for me, that makes you a winner, my friend. Yes, it makes you a winner. One race left. One freaking race left. And let's see how it looks going into that race. Get on with the spray and shit. We don't care about all that bullshit. We want to see the league table, man. So there is your running order. And yes, error picks up a point. Shmee from Dunners, from Connor, from Drew Cam, from Grimy, from Fingers, from Riley, Blumchum, Friendly Dutch, Error, Mr. J, and Bimmerguy in the last spots. This is how we stand going into the final race. It is neck and neck, 98 points each for Connor in the Carlin, and Dunners also in the Carlin. Just 12 points back is Grimy, still within a shout, but only a small one. Friendly Dutch and McShmee round out that top 5. So it is on like Donkey Kong. Dunners and Connor, there is going to be no love lost here. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes off here. We're at Abu Dhabi. Really interesting racetrack, Abu Dhabi, because it's got some twists and some turns, and there's not huge amounts of slipstream opportunity. There's a few, but nothing major. But we've got the two Carlin cars going into this race, both on 98 points. Grimy on 86 points. Needs Connor and Dunners not. So essentially, what wins this for Grimy now is if, and we've got Errol will start at the front of the grid again, Mr. J. Then Fingers, then Drew Cam, then Riley, then Blumchum, then Shmee, and It needs Grimy to make some big inroads early doors, and it needs Connor and Dunners to have a crash. I think that's what is necessary, because the gap's now 12 points. So it's either going to be Dunners or it's going to be Connor. One of them is going to be Christmas champion, the other's going to be Christmas chump. Simple as that. It's a two-way battle. If Grimy does nick this and makes Dunners and Connors both Christmas chumps, then, well, very well deserved. So come on, everybody, get checked in, get checked in. We've got some racing to do, guys, before I lose my voice, which is imminent. I can feel the back of my throat telling me it's going to be done. Tomorrow, Blackflag Racing, we've got some GR3 GT racing in the Open GR3 tournament, of course, and we're at Suzuka for that one. I think we've already got a full lobby for that. Well, this is what I looked earlier. We have 13, and there are several vying for the championship still not in it. There we go. Sausage won't be performing actually because of his leg. He's going to be in hospital for Christmas and to get well soon, my friend. And I'm going to say on every stream until you do finally come home. There we go. Right, so final race at Abu Dhabi. It is Connor and Dunners fighting it out for this championship. Who is going to be the champion of Christmas? That's what it is. The Christmas champion. One of you is Santa, the other one will be the Grinch. So just waiting for the lobby to load. 30 seconds. We're 30 seconds and 5 laps away from crowning ourselves the Christmas Formula 2 LNR champion of the world for 2022. Finally, Error picks up a point. I can relax about that one. How fucking funny would it be if Error won this race? And both Dunners and Connor finished outside the top 13. So 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And you know what happens next? Away we go. We've only got 10 runners in this final race. Mr. J leads them out. Fingers in second place. Up into the lead of this race. Where is Connor and Dunners? So there's going to be points whatever happens. It is literally a straight shootout between the two of them. It doesn't matter where they finish because they're so far ahead. I mean, 12 points. unless, of course, Grimy gets ahead and makes some massive, massive moves. But Dunners wins out. Dunners up into 6th place. And Connor up into 5th. Dunners down in 8th. It's all changed already. And there's a penalty for Dunners. Multiple warnings. Suck it up, Buttercup. You've got a shit ton of work to do now, my friend. Lap number 1 we are here at Abu Dhabi. And Fingers leads us out from Blumchum. 1.4 seconds is the gap. And I'll tell you what, they looked at the championship with these guys and they went, I don't give a toss if you two are vying for it. We're going for it. So Blumchum in 2nd place. Mr. J holding on in 3rd. Come on, my friend. Up into 2nd place he goes. Pick up some big points here. But Connor with a switcheroo. Up into 2nd place. He's on a charge. Who was that off the track? Was that Grimy off the track? Grimy back in 9th place. And Grimy's not getting involved here. So here we go into this final sector. It switches round to that left-hand side. You've got this right-hand turn, another right-hand turn. Kind of almost like that double apex kind of thing, but it's not double apex here because you've got pit lane. So there we go. Fingers in the lead of this race. 1.8 seconds is the gap. And here is who will be champion if he stays here. It is Connor. 1.7 seconds behind. And this is your lap at Abu Dhabi. You see how complicated it is. It's all about feathering the throttle through these corners. And can he close that gap to Fingers? I'll tell you what a way to win the championship is to win the race. It's Fingers from Connor, from Mr. J. Blumchum in 4th place. Dunners now in 4th place with a penalty. Friendly Dutch picking up a penalty as well back in 8th. So Dunners needs to not only overtake Connor, but build a 2-second gap when they do. Otherwise, it is going to be Connor's championship today. Grimy up to 8th place, but it's not enough to get involved. Needs Connor and Dunners not to finish. Could still get top 3. Could still secure top 3. Needs to just guarantee it by making up a couple of places. But at the moment, it is Connor in the lead. It is Dunners. Sorry, Connor in the lead of these two anyway. Connor in 2nd, Dunners in 3rd. Fingers leads the race. Does Fingers have some say in this battle by keeping the pair of them behind? By slowing them up, maybe? Can Fingers keep them behind, prevent an overtake, and allow Dunners to make a move? Now, if, let's just say for argument's sake, that Connor can't make the move on Fingers, and at the moment it's looking very likely that he will make it right here up the inside. No, he doesn't. Or saying that, Fingers goes so wide back on the racetrack though. Does rescue it. That was crazy, crazy wide. Talk about abusing track limits. And Grimy picks up a penalty. Kind of looking for any way past. Any way past lap 3 here. Wants to get this move done up the inside. Makes the move stick. Abso-fucking-lutely. Into the lead of this race goes Connor. Gonna 25 points. This guarantees the championship. Dunners needs to make the move. Dunners needs to close on Fingers. Once they've closed on Fingers, they need to close on Connor. And there is only 2 laps remaining after this one. Just coming, and that's too wide. You can't screw these corners up. Push, push, push. That's the order of the day. And at the moment, Dunners is going to come 2nd in this championship. Because for me, we forget about everybody else. There are other people racing in this. So Errol will pick up some more points because there are only 10 runners. Good job, Error. Mr. J running in 9th place. Friendly Dutch just breezing past into 8th. Connor picks up a penalty. That changes the complexion of things. If Dunners can catch him now and overtake him, then we're looking at something very different. He doesn't need to build up a gap anymore. Riley in 7th place, 2.9 seconds behind Grimy. Grimy got so much work to do to guarantee they come in. So there we go. Dunners up into 2nd, 1.6 seconds is that gap. Blumchum in 5th, McShmee in 4th, Fingers in 3rd, but no one gives a fuck about them. This is what it's all about. It is Connor versus Dunners to take this championship. Fingers gets himself a penalty because he's putting his fingers in places they shouldn't be going. 1.4 seconds is the gap. Can Dunners close this gap? Doesn't need to worry about the penalty anymore. Connor has a penalty. Dunners has a penalty. All he has to do is make this overtake. All Connor has to do is prevent the overtake. It's that simple. It is a two-way shootout to the end of this race for the championship. Connor in first, Dunners in second. Connor has the upper hand. He's just got to keep it on the racetrack and keep Dunners behind. And the gap is opening up. It's 1.9 seconds. And could this come into play here? Mr. J, is it him that's had the error? Because that was a problem in sectors 1 and 2. That problem has gone away. But I tell you what hasn't gone away. Dunners hasn't gone away. He's still there in second place. But 1.9 seconds, it's a lot to ask. We're on lap 4 here, just coming into the final sector. Connor is 1 lap away from taking the Christmas championship. He will be Santa Claus. Here he goes. He's going to cross the line in the lead. He is literally 1 lap away from winning this. 1.5 minutes, give or take a couple of seconds from being champion. Dunners in second place. What can he do? What has he got? Has he got anything to give? Is there anything left in the tank to close that gap as Fingers gets another penalty? Fingers is going to finish freaking last at this rate. He's up into third at the moment, ahead of Grimy. Grimy dropping down the order. McShmee again ahead in third. I would watch that, but it doesn't really matter because this is the battle that does. This is the battle that everyone cares about. Can Dunners close that 1.4 seconds in essentially 7 or 8 corners? Does Connor make a mistake? Can Connor handle the pressure? Dum 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 dum. Under pressure. That wasn't the truth under pressure, was it? Can Connor handle it? Is it commentator's curse? When I talk about it, does it fuck it up for him? Let's see. Let's hope it doesn't go horribly. Let's hope it doesn't go horribly wrong. Because he's 1.3 seconds. He's got very little left to do. Here he goes into sector 3. He rounds the left-hander. He rounds the other left-hander. He's got 2 corners to go. And Connor will be the F2 LNR Crimbo champion. Here he goes round that final corner. He crosses the line and he is the champion of Christmas. Connor takes the win. Dunners will be runner-up, but no one remembers who was second. McSmee third, Blumchum fourth, Grimy in 5th place, Riley in 6th, Fingers in 7th. Error will come home in 8th. Good points for Error. Congratulations. Mr. J in 9th, and Friendly Dutch comes home last. But this is the man that matters. It was 8 races ago we started this and didn't win that race. That was Blumchum. And then Connor started to turn it on. Race after race, putting in the points, chucking in the laps. It didn't matter that Grimy was picking up all the driver of the days. Connor was picking up the points. And that's what mattered. Went into this race. All they needed to do was win. And what did he do? He freaking won it. Mr. J and Friendly Dutch will eventually arrive home. There's Mr. J. And there is Friendly Dutch. Mr. J stopped by the line for some crazy reason. There we go. In Sargent's car for Carling Racing. Here at Yas Marina. Connor takes the championship. 8 races ago we went into this F2 championship without any expectation of who was going to win. We went to Bahrain, we went to Australia, we went over to Holland for Zandvoort, Monza, Spain, Baku, China, and we finished here at Abu Dhabi. And Connor takes this Christmas F2 championship home. Great win from him. Dunners will come home as runner-up. And I think, if I'm totting up the points correctly, I think Grimy should nick 3rd. But I will check it, of course, because that's what we have to do. We have to check these things. So, how about that? I'll tell you what, that was a freaking brilliant tournament. I love that format. So, there we go. No one cares about who finished where in that race. This is what we care about. There is your Crimbold champion, Connor from Scotland. First time Scotland's won anything. Certainly don't win at football matches. Sorry, man. I had to stick in there. 123 points. 7 points behind. Dunners takes second place, runner-up point. Grimy does take third, 97 points. McShmee in fourth with 85. Blumchum, despite the win in the first race, comes in fifth, 81 points. 80 for Friendly Dutch, 65 for Riley. Things with 42. Mr. J with 17. And Error with 5 points. Everybody scoring points of those final 10. Congratulations to everyone and Merry fucking Christmas. What a race, or a series of races that was. That was freaking awesome. And I defy you to tell me you didn't enjoy that. Well, there we go. So, as far as late night racing is concerned, Christmas is well and truly here, and the racing is done until we return in January. Congratulations to Connor. He is your LNR F2 2022 Series champion. Dunners is the runner-up. He can put his runner-up trophy behind his current league trophy for the main event, of course. That's it. I'll see LNR, but I'll be back with LNR in the new year. It's been really, really cool. Looking forward to continuing on in 2023. Back tomorrow with the GR3. And all that's left really for me to say is Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. I've been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV with Late Night Racing League Christmas special. It's been great fun, and catch up with you soon.